have pomp and circumstance sequence up, please? But we're gonna do Black Horse Troop. Okay, Black Horse Troop right now. Be ready, please, to stop at any minute. Okay? All right? Black Horse Troop.
Welcome to the 129th commencement of the University of Idaho. A long tradition at the university is for the faculty to form two columns that the graduation candidates will pass through. The College of Graduate Studies. Formalized in 1925, the College of Graduate Studies leads the university's graduate-level research and creative activities and oversees all graduate programs for the university. Dr. Jerry McMurtry is the Dean, and the College of Graduate Studies includes 690 faculty members. Daniel Olortegui Vargas from Lima, Peru, is the college's featured graduate. He is the recipient of the Carlos A. Schwantes Outstanding Graduate Student Award. Daniel is committed to improving access to quality education for Indigenous peoples, including modifications in the teaching and learning process and making content and materials more relevant. The College of Art and Architecture. Founded in 1981, the College of Art and Architecture teaches the integrated concepts of art, design, and technology with an emphasis on cultural and environmental stewardship. Students prepare for careers in the rapidly evolving creative economy through real-world projects that improve the quality of life for communities throughout the state of Idaho. Graduates go on to become leaders in the fields of architecture, art and design, interior architecture and design, landscape architecture, and virtual technology and design. Faculty and students engage in interdisciplinary research and scholarly activities in rural, urban, and tribal contexts that shapes the future of our state, region, and world. Dr. Shauna Corey is the Dean of the college, which includes 48 faculty. Quinn Anderson from Corona, California, is CAA's featured graduate. She won numerous awards for her work as an undergraduate, including first place for her branch library design at the ICMA competition. Quinn is also a leader in the group currently designing the Vandal Healing Garden and Memorial. The College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. Established in 1901, the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences is the largest and most diverse college at the University of Idaho. The curriculum is centered around experiential learning and transformational opportunities. Degrees make students successful in any career by providing the skills and experiences that employers want: critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork, leadership, communication, cultural awareness, and real-world experience. The class faculty are nationally recognized researchers, scholars, and artists who lead research and creative works in their fields. Dr. Sean Quinlan is the Dean of the college, which includes 168 faculty members. Milena Lene De Rose from Tucson, Arizona, is class's featured graduate. At the U of I, Milena excelled academically, providing outstanding leadership in the Army ROTC program and dedicated her time and energy to numerous campus and community organizations. She is commissioning as a military intelligence officer in the Army and aims to be stationed in Germany following her training this summer. The College of Law. Founded in 1909, the College of Law emphasizes quality over quantity and delivers a focused curriculum to students completing their Juris Doctor degrees. Students have the option of earning their complete degree in Moscow or Boise. College activities include the Sherman J. Bellwood Lecture, Northwest Institute for Dispute Resolution, Idaho Law Review Symposium, and dozens of student organizations and activities. The college has been nationally recognized for being one of America's best small state public law schools, its best value and high employment rates, its externship and clinical education opportunities, and its curricular leadership in international law, business law, intellectual property law, and environmental law. This year's graduates join a distinguished line of alumni that includes CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, Idaho Supreme Court justices, and Court of Appeals judges, legislators, governors, attorneys, state and federal judges, and successful attorneys. Johanna Kolb is the Dean of Law, which includes 39 full-time faculty members. Benjamin Olafson from Salt Lake City is Law's featured graduate. He's provided outstanding pro bono service for veterans in the Palouse during his time in law school. He plans to work as a public defender and continues serving the veteran community following graduation. The College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences. Established in 1920, the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences is dedicated to serving the people, places, and spaces of Idaho and beyond through innovative leadership and engagement. Renowned for excellence in scholarly teaching, research, and outreach, the college shapes professionals with real-world experiences, ready for diverse careers in health, education, exercise, sport, recreation, leadership, and dance. Dr. Brooke Blevins serves as Dean of the College, which includes 63 faculty members. Jillian Geyer from Deary is the featured graduate from Education, Health, and Human Sciences. Overcoming the challenges of single parenthood, she self-funded her education and is graduating with honors today. Jillian's career goal is to connect with students and to help each student feel successful on their educational journey. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the platform party. Shauna Corey, Brooke Blevins, Sean Quinlan, Johanna Klaub, Jerry McMurtry, Lindsey Brown, Bill Smith, Kurt Liebeck, Tanner McLean, Diane Kelly Riley, Dean Kaler, Gwyn Gorzelski, Dan Ewert, Chris Nomura, Yolanda Bisbee, Ross Warren, Anthony Dewar, Keiko O'Gara, Travis Jones, Tom Slayton, Lawrence Wasden, Andrew Fields, Chandra Ford, Tori Lawrence, Jean-Marc Gauthier, and C. Scott Green, the 19th President of the University of Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Joint Color Guard, followed by the performance of our national anthem by Katie Seelmeyer. Please remove your hats unless you are in uniform or academic regalia.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that
Please welcome the chair of the University of Idaho Faculty Senate, Jean-Marc Gauthier.
Please be seated. Good morning. It's my honor to welcome you to University of Idaho's 2024 Spring Commencement. This is a special time when our university gathers to honor our students as they complete their course of study and begin a new chapter in their lives. Please join me in welcoming the 19th President of the University of Idaho, C. Scott Green.
Thank you, Associate Professor Gauthier, for opening our ceremony and for your service as the chair of the Faculty Senate. Students, parents, families, deans, faculty, and honored guests, welcome to the University of Idaho, our state's flagship land-grant institution. Our history is important, and I want to begin by acknowledging that our U of I Moscow campus is located on the homelands of the Nimipu, Palouse, and Stisa-Umsh tribes. We extend gratitude to the indigenous people that call these places home since time immemorial. The university recognizes it as our academic responsibility to build relationships with the indigenous people to ensure integrity of tribal voices. Seated directly behind me and on the floor are representative members of the University of Idaho's leadership. Will the platform party and other members of university leadership joining from the audience please rise? Our leadership team has demonstrated its commitment and dedication to the students of this great institution. Commencement is one of our favorite days of the year, and on behalf of the university's leadership team, we are excited to celebrate this accomplishment with you today. Please be seated. This is the 129th commencement year for the University of Idaho. More than 131,000 students have earned degrees since the first graduates walked across our stage in 1896. That tradition continues today with more than 2,300 graduates joining the ranks of Vandal alumni this spring. Isn't that incredible? We take great pride in our academics, which incorporate experiential learning across disciplines, from cutting-edge research to internships. Our faculty work closely with our students and connect with them on a very personal level. A Vandal education combines rigorous academics with invaluable experiences outside the classroom. Among countless examples, our students are designing and building the Vandal Healing Garden and Memorial. They're treating injuries at the iSmart Athletic Training Clinic. They're serving clients at the Community Law Clinic, and they're writing articles for the Argonaut, Blot Magazine, and academic journals. Vandals learn by doing. The result is graduates who are sought after by industry and command the highest starting salaries of any public university in Idaho. U of I alums work hard to know how to contribute from day one. They add value to their companies and their communities. A great example is Julian Geyer from Deary. Yes, from Deary. She is graduating with honors today with her bachelor's degree in elementary education and plans to be an educator who inspires a joy for learning in her students. Jillian overcame many challenges to excel at the U of I. As a single mother, she self-funded her education and was an outstanding role model for her peers. Her journey reflects the university's values of excellence, perseverance, and the transformative power of education. Another excellent example is Matt Angelo, who's earning his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He plans on a career in the military and got a great start in the U of I's Army ROTC program. Matt overcame obstacles early on in his career as a Vandal, and the camaraderie and competition in the Christman Battalion brought out the best in him. This spring, he was honored as a distinguished military graduate based on his scholarship, leadership, physical fitness, and involvement. He was also an active leader in the Phi Kappa Tau fraternity. Following graduation, Matt is headed to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, for a 5-month training program to prepare for his new job as a field artillery officer. And thank you for your service. I know there are thousands of terrific examples of Vandals who not only gained a great education here, but also made their mark by investing in their community and lifting up those around them. There's no better demonstration of this than our first-generation students. If you are the first in your family to earn a college degree, please stand. The path to graduation is always challenging, but it's even more so for a first-generation student. You're a great example and a guiding light for your family and community, and again, congratulations to you and your families. As graduates, I encourage you to continue to be curious, continue to learn, and continue to collaborate in ways that uplift others. This is an exciting time in your life. It's a time to take some risks, to work hard, to make a difference. As Vandals, you adapted to change and learned new skills on the fly. You embraced your community, you mourned together, and celebrated together. We are proud to call you Vandal alumni. Vandals are running boardrooms across this country, seeking justice in our courtrooms, and serving in our classrooms across Idaho and the West. They're healing our family members in Idaho hospitals and working in the corridors of power in both Boise and Washington, D.C. They're even on the field in the NFL. You are joining these ranks, the ranks of these leaders, and so set your sights on something great. Always be prepared to operate a little bit out of your comfort zone. It'll be hard work. There will be setbacks. But your Vandal family will be here to provide support to you along the way. You will always have the Vandal Network to help you chart your path. You are now ambassadors for our Vandal family. Keep telling your Vandal story. We'll be right there, cheering you on. Congratulations, and go Vandals! So as I look out over all these graduates, I know that none of you got here alone. You were supported by friends and family, people you care about, and people who care deeply for you. Let's take a minute to thank them. Graduates, please stand and wave to your friends and family who've supported you along this journey. You may be seated. It's a privilege to have one of our University of Idaho regents here today to help us celebrate our graduates. Kurt Liebeck is a member of the State Board of Education and a University of Idaho regent. He is the chairman and chief executive officer of Boise-based Red Built and New Wood Resources. Kurt has served on the boards of numerous educational nonprofit organizations in Idaho. Regent Liebeck, will you please come bring greetings to our graduates?
Thank you, President Green. The State Board of Education is the governing body for all education in the state of Idaho, including our K-12 system and all 4 of our 4-year higher education institutions in the state. We also serve as the Board of Regents for this wonderful university that you are all graduating from today. We serve approximately 350,000 Idaho students across this great state each and every academic year. On behalf of the Regents of the University of Idaho and the Idaho State Board of Education, I bring greetings to you, our graduates, and your family members and friends who have supported you throughout your educational journey and are present here today to celebrate this meaningful accomplishment with each of you. I would also like to take a moment to thank President Green, his administrative team, and the dedicated faculty who have worked so hard and with so much care to prepare you for this moment today. We are all proud of your achievements. You have worked hard to achieve this goal, and have demonstrated tremendous resiliency during your time here. And as a result, shortly, you will graduate from Idaho's land-grant institution. We wish you all the very best in your future. Congratulations from the entire Board of Regents. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Liebig, for being with us today and for your service to this university and to the state of Idaho. It's an honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, Anthony Doerr. Mr. Doerr is an accomplished author. He wrote the story collections, The Shell and the Shell Collector and Memory Wall, the memoir, 4 Seasons in Rome, and the novels about Grace, All the Light We Cannot See, and Cloud Cuckoo Land. All the Light We Cannot See was awarded the 2015 Pulitzer Prize for Fiction and the Andrew Carnegie Medal for Excellence in Fiction. It was the #1 New York Times bestseller and remained on the Times bestseller list for more than 200 weeks in hardcover. Mr. Doerr's work has been translated into 40 languages and won the Barnes & Noble Discover Prize, the Rome Prize, and the New York Public Library's Young Lions Award. He's earned a Guggenheim Fellowship, a National Endowment for the Arts Fellowship, and numerous other honors. Anthony has been on campus interviewing students and getting to know the University of Idaho in preparation for today, and we're excited to hear his address. Please join me in welcoming our 2024 Spring Commencement speaker, Anthony Doerr.
What's happening, everybody? Wow. Thanks, President Green, for the wonderful introduction. Thanks to the faculty, the administrators, the marshals who let everybody in here. Huge thanks to all the family and friends. I'll shout you out a little bit later. And thanks especially to you guys, the stars of the show, the reason we're all here, the graduates of the class of 2024. It is an immense privilege to be a small part of your celebration. This address is 18 minutes long, according to the University Inn when I did it this morning. I timed it on my iPhone. It's got 8 parts, and it's called Make the Most of It. So if you went a little deep last night and you fall asleep, you'll know where you are. Okay, you guys ready? 1. Last month, a chart maker on Instagram asked his fans to submit their favorite attraction in each of the 50 states. Then he published a map featuring the most popular responses. Pennsylvania got the Liberty Bell, Alaska got Denali, California got Yosemite, Idaho got nothing. I've seen Shoshone Falls at full roar and the Palouse at peak green. I've seen a rainstorm send a zillion waterfalls pouring over the canyon walls of the Middle Fork of the Salmon. I've eaten donut holes at the summit of Mount Bora and taken my kids to the Airbnb in Cottonwood that's shaped like a dog. 3-time Olympic gold medalist and Vandal alum, Kristen Armstrong once climbed past me on a Boise mountain bike trail with so much power that I fell over into the cheatgrass. Any of these would be fitting attractions, but after coming to Moscow in March to meet some of you, and after talking to alumni and school leaders, and after reading every issue of The Argonaut for the past 4 years, I have reached the conclusion that the #1 attraction in Idaho, our Grand Canyon, our Wrigley Field, our 8th wonder of the world, is the class of 2024 at the University of Idaho. Right? And that GIF was not easy to make, by the way. That was done at the Doerr family house. 2, this is Sherlyn Bermudez Alvarado. She is from Idaho Falls. In 2020, she graduated from high school like so many of you did. I'm going to choke up while sitting in a car, her Volkswagen Jetta. In the weeks before Sherlyn was to begin freshman year, her parents urged her to stay home to stay safe from COVID, but she wanted an in-person college experience. I was put in a dorm, she said, without anyone else in my major. I didn't know anyone at all. I didn't have friends. And the eatery those first weeks Dining tables had only 4 chairs around them. They were spaced far apart, and on top of each was a placard. Green if they'd been cleaned, red if they were dirty. Sherlyn ate a lot of meals alone in her room. For the first few weeks that I was in college, back in a previous century, I developed a torrid love affair with a soft-serve ice cream machine in the dining hall. It was a little taller than I was. It dispensed chocolate, vanilla, and the yin and yang chocolate vanilla twin twist. And it was open 18 hours a day. I could eat ice cream at 9 a.m., noon, at midnight, and until my friends staged an intervention, I did. For those of you who were here in the fall of 2020, there were no desserts at all. No waffle station, no milk machines, no cereal bar, no ice cream machine. This is Tanner McLean. He's right there. He's from Middleton. When Tanner arrived here in August of 2020, he got a bid at Beta Theta Pi. Then he tested positive for COVID. Tanner was sent upstairs to a quarantine room where he sat by himself hearing students playing music downstairs and looking out the window. I had to text the group chat. Tanner told me I barely knew anyone's names at this point to ask, could anyone please bring me dinner? Then Tanner was moved to a quarantine dorm. I was terrified that everybody was getting to know each other, he said, that connections would already be made, that I'd be an outsider. Those were 7 of Tanner's first 10 days in college. When I was a freshman, on the night before an AB calculus final, for which I might not have studied because I might have spent the entire day playing wiffle ball and drinking beer, speaking hypothetically here, I might have prayed that a virus would show up out of nowhere and shut down the school before my exam. Of course, if I had been capable of imagining what a shutdown actually looked like, that nurses would routinely stick super long Q-tips into my nostrils, that I'd live with the possibility that at any hour I might be sent home to my childhood bedroom with my Star Wars curtains and my weird puppets from 6th grade, I would have had a tantrum. Class of 2024, you did not have tantrums. Instead of participating in time-honored traditions like the homecoming bonfire, you learned phrases like confinement period and mask mandate, but you did not complain. You attended outdoor movies, you held glow-stick dance parties in the Kibbe Dome, you organized hikes, you wore masks during kickball games, you practiced your instruments on the tennis courts. You put the needs of your community above your own, and together, you got through it. 3, this is Natalie Swaste. When Natalie was an 8th grader, the Jerome High School speech and debate team planned a recruitment speech to the junior high. Natalie wanted to hear it, but because her English class was analogous to an English as a second language class, her teacher decided that her students wouldn't understand the speech, so Natalie didn't get to hear the pitch. She made the speech team at Jerome High anyway. During her sophomore year, she placed 2nd in the state. After she became a Vandal, Natalie ascended to leadership positions in the College Assistance Migrant Program, CAMP, and Kappa Delta Chi. This past year, she helped to establish a new minor at the university, the Chicanx and Latinx certificate. When I was in college, I was so unwilling to commit to a major that I took nutrition, the civil rights movement, astronomy, and religious studies. I took Math 50, known in the student body as subtraction, it's addition's tricky cousin. I took Geology 55, known as rocks for jocks. I was a junior before I could even figure out my major. Natalie helped to develop an entire new minor. Because of her work, future Vandals, young people she may never meet, attending university in a state whose population is now over 13% Hispanic, will be able to focus their studies, if they wish, on the history of Mexican Americans. Four. When I was an undergrad, a friend and I wrote an idiotic column for the student paper. We'd make top 10 lists of sandwiches, or we'd review every station on the FM dial. This is Mark Warren. He's from Sandpoint. In November of 2022, Mark was the opinion editor at the Argonaut. We were posting pieces online every day, he said. I was just trying to do whatever I could to help our reporters publish stories. That fall and winter, Mark and his colleagues kept on reporting through their own anguish and exhaustion, even as they were getting harassed online, even as some of their email addresses were published on TikTok. This is Joanna Hayes. Joanna, there she is. Let's see if I can get the slide to go. There she is. Joanna's from Idaho Falls. Her high school class had 9 kids in it. When the pandemic hit, she didn't even know what Zoom was. She transferred to U of I in January of 2022. My mom would always say, "Who'd you meet in class?" I'm like, "Mom, we're sitting 6 feet away from somebody. They're all wearing masks and they're scrolling on their phones." Like Mark, Joanna found a second family at the Argonaut. Over the last 2 years, Joanna, Mark, Ben DeWitt, and their amazing colleagues have published dozens of outstanding articles about unimaginably complex subjects, fighting against the sensationalism seen almost everywhere else in the media with such poise and grace that I found myself reading their work, wiping tears from my cheeks. 5. This is the University of Idaho Band. This, wearing slightly different colors, is also the University of Idaho Band. This past March, as I'm sure many of you know, when Yale University's men's basketball team made the NCAA tournament, the Yale Band wasn't able to travel to Spokane, so the Vandal Band volunteered to do it. They hadn't even finished unpacking from supporting U of I in the Big Sky tournament. They had only one rehearsal to learn the Yale fight song, but they christened themselves the Van Dogs, boarded a bus to Spokane, and helped cheer on Yale to a bracket-busting upset over Auburn. They got paid in pizzas. 6. 2 decades ago, John McKenzie was in college when his son Carson was born with a congenital heart defect. Carson needed open heart surgery, so John dropped out of school to work construction and pay the bills. By the time Carson was a senior in high school, the pandemic had arrived. He had recently lost his job. He worried about infecting his family with the virus, and he considered taking a break from school. When during her freshman year, Carson's sister, Makara, got pregnant, she also thought about dropping out of school. It would have been easier. Instead, John, their dad, joined his kids at the University of Idaho and went back to school with them to resume his own education. To say that the kids' lives have been sunshine and rainbows would be a farce, John said. They've gone through some of the most agonizing things in life. We have all walked through them together. John, Carson, and Makara are all earning their bachelor's degrees today. Carson wants to move to Atlanta to work in the film industry. Makara wants to get a master's degree in psychology. John has applied to U of I's law school, and as of last weekend, he's still awaiting word, wink, wink. For those things you think you'll never be able to accomplish, John told the Argonauts, shoot for the stars. Even if you don't hit the stars, maybe you'll fall on the moon. 7. These past months, I've come to realize that the Vandal family isn't a catchphrase, it's real. Sherlyn told me these 4 years it's been one thing after another, but when something happens, we do what we have to. We just rally and support each other. If you go to school here, Joanna told me you have pride in it and you reach back to help. There is a huge weight and a huge impact to being a Vandal. When Natalie was helping push through the Chicanx and Latinx certificate, she knew she was working to culminate a 15-year effort. It would never have happened, she said, without so many others. When Tanner was helping to plan the memorial last November, he reminded everyone that there is no shame, that indeed there is strength in relying on others for help. You are not alone, he said. The Vandal family is here. Everywhere I looked, from the athletic fields to the McCall Outdoor Science School, from the Greek system to the experimental forest, I saw that over the past 4 years, whenever someone had a need, you all stepped up and met it. You put the needs of the community above your own, and you still did your homework too. 8. When I graduated from college, the advice I heard most frequently was, go make the most of it. Maybe you've heard it too. You made it through your coursework, you passed your exams, you earned your degrees. Now go make the most of it. All through my 20s and 30s, this advice troubled me. I worried that if I wasn't publishing in the best magazines, if I wasn't landing fellowships that paid the most money, if I wasn't coming to my senses and giving up my silly dream of becoming a novelist, then I wasn't making the most of it. Because my family sacrificed so that I could go to college, it felt like the most was something I owed them, as though life after college was a quest for treasure in which each graduate tries to grab the most before somebody else does. I was guilty of what my father-in-law calls the sunburned throat syndrome, always looking up, staring into the sun to see what everybody above me was getting. It took me too long to learn that the quest to get more, as though if you get enough more, you'll finally get to the most, is a fool's errand. It's a message of scarcity. It suggests that there isn't enough to go around, when the truth is that the world actually brims with abundance. The ag students here can tell you that a single cubic meter of soil brims with miracles. The biology students can tell you that a single cell vibrates with mysteries. The chemists, like Dr. Shreve, can tell you that there's enough to study in the interactions of 3 basic molecules to fill a lifetime. The physics majors can tell you that the cosmos overflows with riddles. The art students can tell you that the more you look, the more you'll see. And the poets can tell you that a single poem, if it's written well enough, can possess enough beauty to shake you to your core. And the most important lesson, a lesson you all learned at a younger age than most of us up here did, is that the scarcity model doesn't work at all when it comes to kindness. Kindness isn't finite. There's not some reservoir of kindness hidden in the mountains that we're in danger of emptying if we give too much away. When you put kindness into a space, you actually make more. It's infinitely reproducible. What you reminded us is that making the most of it can mean appreciating the sheer pleasure of getting to stand shoulder to shoulder with friends and laugh. Making the most of it can mean walking outdoors some night with someone you love and trying to see the northern lights. It can mean taking an extra minute some afternoon to check in on a friend. It can mean learning another school's fight song in a single practice session. It can mean appreciating that you have a soft-serve ice cream machine back in the dining hall. Our commencement ceremony might feel like an ending, but it's actually a beginning. The word commence means to start, to initiate, to come into being. In the months to come, you'll hear lots of voices telling you that the world you're commencing into is in rough shape. Americans are ultra-polarized. They'll say the oceans are too warm, AI is going to eat your jobs, and then possibly eat you. That's one perspective. Here's another. Your knees are as good as they're ever going to get. You have full heads of hair, most of you. You can buy bananas in the middle of the winter. You have access to the highest quality toilet paper in the history of Homo sapiens. And you have learned that when you put the needs of your community before your own together, you can get through anything. You don't come to college to find your true self. You come to college to learn how to reinvent yourself over and over again. When in the next hour you hear your name and walk this stage, try to remember, as I know you will, that the administrators up here and the professors who taught you and the marshals who led you in and the staff who planned this celebration have, just like you, had to solve some really complicated puzzles over the last 4 years. They too had to lean on colleagues, friends, and families to get them through. If later today you're lucky enough to spend an hour with a few beaming family members in the seats to your right and left, remember how blessed you are that you can tell them face to face, thank you for sacrificing for me. Thank you for worrying about me. Thank you for loving me. If later today you're lucky enough to spend an hour with your fellow graduates, try to remember what an incredible gift it is to have even one other human on earth who shared your journey with you, who knows just the right song to play, the right text to send, the right time to stay quiet and give you space. Together, you are so much more than a bunch of individuals in folding chairs. You are a convoy of resilient, courageous explorers who have traveled a road of intellectual and emotional difficulty few of us can imagine. Today, not just the Vandal family here in this building, but all of us Idahoans, we recognize your grace, your generosity, your resilience. You are the eighth wonder of Idaho. Go chase your curiosities. Go set yourself in the path of beauty. Go make the most of the privilege of being here on this miraculous, exquisite, mysterious planet. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate your inspiring words and valuable wisdom, and you can see how hard he worked at this, right? He got to know us, and what a beautiful story. Thank you so much. I'd now like to welcome Thomas R. Warren, Professor of Military Science, to recognize our graduates who have been commissioned in the United States Armed Forces.
The University of Idaho has a long history of developing the future officer leadership of the United States Armed Forces, the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Space Force. This graduating class is no exception. Please direct your attention to the uniformed graduates on the floor. Later in today's ceremony, each of these graduates will walk with their respective colleges to receive their diploma. However, prior to that, we would like to recognize them for having completed a rigorous leadership development program in conjunction with the pursuit of a degree. Each of the students were commissioned as officers yesterday and swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. They took this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purposes of evasion, and they will well and faithfully discharge those duties upon the office which they entered. Please join me in recognizing these great Americans for their accomplishments and their sworn commitment to lead and serve our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and guardians.
Thank you all for your service to our country. We're grateful for our ROTC and the amazing work of our students in these programs. Again, thank you for your service. It's a privilege and a joy to work with all of our talented and committed student leaders, from the Student Bar Association to the Graduate and Professional Student Association, to all of our many clubs and organizations. We have terrific students who care about our community and give back. I'd like to invite Tanner McLean, our outgoing ASUI president, to address his fellow graduating students. Tanner?
Thank you, President Green. 3 years ago, at the start of our freshman year, my older sister, who was a graduating senior at the time, was moving into an apartment at the Whites alongside Taylor Avenue. While helping her move into her apartment, I felt a strong sense of awe, peace, and tranquility as I gazed out the window and saw the edge of campus. I noticed the water tower with its iconic golden eyes shining in the sun. I heard the chimes from the Admin clock playing to the tune of our alma mater, "Here We Have Idaho," echoing across campus. There's nothing quite like a Moscow summer night. Crowds of students walking on campus are graced with a warm August breeze. Old friends reconnect to share stories from this summer. Each August, we are also welcomed by a new class of freshmen who often struggle to remember the names of everyone they meet with. The summer is a time to share moments with friends at country concerts, Palooza Fest, and Screen on the Green. One of my favorite memories was Greek Rush, when I met my brothers, Torrin Toole, Peyton Rossi, Tim Reed, Jack Schnorr, Joe and Josh Angler, Gavin Luna, Wade Carpenter, and Jackson Coleman, who are all graduating here today. Summertime in Moscow can be likened to freshman year. It's always exciting and fun, with fewer responsibilities before classes begin. The transition between summer and fall is always welcome, as we embrace the cooler temperature that comes with autumn. The fall is a time to take special pride in being a part of the Vandal family. This is a time of football games, tailgates, and hot dogs. The U of I Traditions list best describes tailgating as bringing families and students together for one cause, a great time. Laughter, conversation, and music fill the air, and the smell of grilled hamburgers and hot dogs makes tailgating a tasty tradition that all Vandals love. Some of my favorite college memories are found in the Vandalizer student section, right over there, giving Joe Vandal high fives and chanting our fight song after touchdowns. The months of fall are a time for Vandal pride, as we celebrate homecoming each year. In fact, did you know that we were one of the first universities to start the tradition of homecoming beginning in 1909? The serpentine and bonfire are unique to the Vandal experience. Students crowd together to walk across campus, following the sound of Idaho marching band. It was always fun running into my friends during serpentine, including Court Baraki, one of my best friends since the 5th grade, who is also graduating today. The months of fall can be likened to sophomore year, a time to fully embrace Moscow and U of I as our new home. Then, when least expected, a cold snap comes rushing in, freezing over our town of Moscow. As the winter in Moscow begins, the days grow darker. The challenges that come with winter seem to last forever as the sun disappears for several months. I find hope that during the coldest and darkest days of the year, we come together closer than ever before. In the darkness, there is always light. With winter comes the holiday season, sledding, and snowball fights. In the winter of 2021, a blizzard came through our campus. Classes were canceled, which meant good times. Crowds of students flocked to the hill above the lower 40 lawn to go sledding. So many students came together and went sledding all week long. Moscow winters can be likened to junior year, as academics grow more challenging, yet close, tight-knit friendships grow. Eventually, the snow begins to thaw, and springtime arrives in Moscow. Then it snows again. After a few more snowfalls, then spring is finally here. Patty's Mexican Bar and Grill reopens its patio for students' enjoyment. The time passes quickly while you're in college, but in the spring, the walks to the corner club and grub truck grow nostalgic. Eventually, the time comes for your last day of class. My last day of class was on campus at the administration building, April 30th in room 307. It was 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. I wanted to feel accomplished in my college career. Still, thoughts lingered through my head of papers and exams yet to be completed, along with an uncertain future that comes with graduating. Then I saw a couple of students taking graduation photos alongside the iconic red pressed brick and sandstone trimmed Adam building, and it brought me to the current moment. As I walked down Hello Walk, I noticed the Spanish-American War statue nestled among the oak trees. I then walked down Old Greek Row as if I were going home to 727 Elm Street during my freshman year. The sun went down slower this evening, and all the fast times at the University of Idaho, I will never forget these moments, especially those shared with friends. Spring in Moscow can be likened to senior year, as spring is the season of rebirth and growth. Our graduation may feel like the end, but in truth, it is the start of a new beginning. As a good friend of mine once told me, we are ending the prologue of life. Before the rest of your life begins, remember this milestone here and now. I ask all of you to take this moment in when you walk across this stage and let that brief moment live on and empower you. Do not let the future distract you, but rather embrace the moment you receive your diploma. Parents, guardians, and families of the graduates, tonight, when you are celebrating, I ask you to capture the moment within all the conversations, hopefully joined by warm food, cold drinks, maybe even some dancing. Cherish that moment with them. Now, I want to take a quick moment to thank my family for all the support they have given me. Mom and Dad and Grandpa, I love you. Let this moment and tonight's celebration live on with all of you for the years to come. You have earned it by graduating from the University of Idaho. As I close my speech, I want to thank you all for being part of an exceptional college experience. When I look across this crowd today, I see a united community. We may no longer be students, but as alumni, we will always be part of the Vandal family. For here we have Idaho, a beacon for mountain and plain. Congrats, class of 2024, and go Vandals!
Thank you, Tanner. We appreciate your excellent leadership of the ASUI over the past 2 years. I now invite Provost and Executive Vice President Tori Lawrence and Faculty Commencement Committee Chair Bill Smith to join me in conferring our honorary degree.
The University of Idaho awards honorary degrees to individuals deserving of honor by virtue of scholarly distinction, noteworthy public service, or significant contributions to the state of Idaho and the world. May I present Ms. Keiko Ogura for the degree Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters. The University of Idaho community has been fortunate to develop a relationship with Keiko Ogura in recent years, and we've benefited greatly from her engagement. As an 8-year-old, Keiko was exposed to the atomic bomb in Hiroshima, Japan. She spent most of her adult life as a worldwide advocate for peace. In 1962, Keiko married Kaoru Ogura, who served as the director of the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum. After her husband's death in 1979, she became an interpreting coordinator for peace movement visitors from abroad. She has continued to carry out the mission to spread knowledge about the impact of atomic bombings and keep the survivors' stories alive. In 2022, Keiko visited the University of Idaho, delivering the keynote address for the Remembering Hiroshima event. Inspired by her visit, 5 U of I students completed a project to translate Keiko's children's story about her experiences, and they were able to visit Japan and present their work to her at Hiroshima University. Our community is grateful for Keiko's advocacy for peace and understanding, and we are proud to bestow upon Keiko Ogura, a most distinguished individual, the honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters degree from the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences.
Keiko Ogura, upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents and the University of Idaho, I confer upon you the degree Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters, together with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. You can read more about our distinguished honoree in your commencement program. Provost Lawrence will now recognize our graduates who have earned honor cords.
Good morning. The University of Idaho is committed to the pursuit of excellence. Today we will recognize the students who are graduating with special honors. Will the students please stand as I call your honor designation and remain standing? And audience, please hold your applause until all of our honorees are standing. Cum laude, with distinction. Students are signified by a bronze honor cord. They are the top 10% of their college class. Please stand. Summa cum laude, with great distinction, signified by a silver honor cord. These students are the top 6% of their college class. Please stand. Summa cum laude, with highest distinction, signified by a gold honor cord. They are the top 3% of their college class. Please stand. Next, we invite members of our honors program to stand and be recognized. And finally, we recognize members of other honors societies, honor organizations, candidates in our officer education program, veterans, and all other honor cords. Will you please stand? You have brought distinction to yourselves and to our university through your high achievements as students and scholars. We honor your hard work today and your commitment to learning. We look to you for leadership in upholding high standards for yourselves and your peers. Congratulations. You may be seated. We will now begin the granting of degrees to all candidates who have met the requirements for the associate's, baccalaureate, master's, specialist, and doctoral degrees. The requirements are set forth by the faculty at the University of Idaho and have been completed through formal study. Degrees will be conferred on all candidates present today, as well as upon those who have been duly excused. Will the candidates for the associate degree please stand? Of note, this is the first class of associate degree graduates in University of Idaho history. President Green, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to be awarded the associate degree so earned.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the associate degree earned with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please stand? Also known as bachelor's degrees. Yep, good. Excellent. President Green, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to be awarded the baccalaureate degree so earned.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree earned with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degrees please stand? Each of you has completed rigorous advanced studies in academic disciplines. President Green, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to receive the master's degree so earned.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the master's degree earned with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees, including Juris Doctor, please stand? Each of you has completed rigorous advanced studies in academic disciplines. President Green, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to receive a doctoral degree so earned.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the doctoral degree earned with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
Please be seated. The University of Idaho awards posthumous degrees to students who completed sufficient coursework prior to their untimely death. This is a moment for us to acknowledge the contributions of each student and celebrate their academic accomplishments with their families. Today we're happy to have the family here. We will award one posthumous degree. President Green, Caden Patrick Young has been recommended by the faculty of the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences to receive a posthumous bachelor's degree.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon Caden Patrick Young the posthumous Bachelor of Science degree earned, in testimony whereof his family will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho.
We will now begin the awarding of doctoral degrees. They will be followed by the master's, specialist, and undergraduate degrees. Students receiving a doctorate are given a doctoral hood. Doctor of Philosophy candidates will be hooded by their major professor. Juris Doctor candidates will be greeted by Dean Johanna Kalb and hooded by Professor Deborah McIntosh. After receiving your degree, we ask that all candidates please stay for the remainder of the ceremony out of respect for other graduates and their families. Marshals, will you please escort our graduates to the stage?
Go Vandals, V's up, baby.
Students graduating with a doctoral degree in the College of Graduate Studies will be greeted by Dean Jerry McMurtry. Abdulrahman Anjorn, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Sidney Freeman. The dissertation title is A Narrative Study of African American National Football League Athletes and Their Perspective of Athlete Leadership. Shauna Marie Bertlin, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Krista Soria. The dissertation title is Agents of Impact, Exploring the Essence of Generativity Among Generative Emerging Educators. Lila Steen Grand Cornwall, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Krista Soria. The dissertation title is Investigating Belonging, Connection, and Engagement Among Higher Education Employees from Different Cultural Backgrounds. Kenneth Richard Cox, Education, is being hooded by Dr. John Cannon. The dissertation title is Flexible Attendance Self-Efficacy and Self-Regulation Identifier. Emilia Jovanovska Stanton, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Raymond Dixon. The dissertation title is Developing Cultural Preparedness and Asset-Based Pedagogies in a Teacher Education Program, Relating Pre-Service Teachers' Funds of Knowledge and Lesson Planning. Barb Kirchmeier, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Janine Dara. The dissertation title is The Effects of Dual Credit on Writing Self-Efficacy. Kellen Probert is being hooded by Major Professor Stefan Werner. The dissertation title is Working Memory and Flight Control, a 5D Multiple Resource Theory Perspective. Beth Ropsky, Education, is being hooded by Dr. John Cannon. The dissertation title is Exploring Correlations Among STEM Identities, Personal Identities, and Perceptions of Diverse Representation in STEM-Related Fields of First-Year Students at Idaho Post-Secondary Institutions. Adrian Lynn Siemens, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Alexandra Hollingshead. The dissertation title is Parents' Lived Experience with Augmentative and Alternative Communication Training Provided by Public Schools. Forrest Stanley, Education, is being hooded by Dr. John Cannon. The dissertation title is A Rural School District Perkins 5 Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment, Stakeholders' Input. Edmund Walsh, Education, is being hooded by Dr. Alexandra Hollingshead. The dissertation title is E-Empowerment in High School Esports. Jay Jackson, Doctorate of Athletic Training, is being hooded by Dr. James May. Cameron Alexander Mott's Doctorate of Athletic Training is being hooded by Dr. James May. Justin Thomas Nato, Doctorate of Athletic Training, is being hooded by Dr. James May. Michaela Palermo Diller, Doctorate of Athletic Training, is being hooded by Dr. James May. Micah Scott Reeves, Doctorate of Athletic Training, is being hooded by Dr. Alan Nasipany. Students graduating with a Juris Doctor degree in the College of Law will be greeted by Dean Johanna Kalb and hooded by Professor Deborah McIntosh. Benjamin Olafson. Robert Alexander Abel. Ryan James Alexander, magna cum laude. Sarah Allen. Scott Bradley Beckstrom. Timothy Robert McCrae Blair Jr. Tyler Brown. Apollo Kane. Caleb Calhoun, summa cum laude. Chisholm. Rebecca Ann Chisholm. Marissa Jean Colgrove. Caitlin Pamela de la Cruz, summa cum laude. Noah Perry Endicott. Edward Hunter England. Kenneth Griffin Epps. Delaney Grace Frazier. Funky. Rebecca Louise Funky. Giblet. Graham Thad Giblet. Lizette Gomez. Michael Heath. Luke Daniel Henry. John Hoffman. LaShawn Jameson. Yizi Jiang. Olivia Marie Johnston. Rowdy James Keller. Emily Taylor Kilfoyle. Hannah Dawn Kimball. Stephanie Ann Kirker. Ryan Walker Kotek, summa cum laude. Nathan Leiter. Hannah Lydiard. Joseph Ramsey Leinbarger. Lloyd. Anna Grace Lloyd. Catherine Ann Lose, magna cum laude. Lars Lund. Danny McDevitt. Jacob McNicholas. Matisse Melendres. Kenneth Donald Michelle. Alexander Philip Nielsen. Charles Wesley Olson. Erin DeVita Ramsey. Alexandra Razanovic. Katie Sheftick. Elizabeth Ray Simpson. Trey Trusty. Pat Tucker. Carla Yuri. Melina Suzanne Walkush. Griffin Clark Wells. Fraser McKay Willard. Brennan James Womble. Students graduating with a master's degree in the College of Graduate Studies will be greeted by Dean Jerry McMurtry. Madison Itema.
Daniel Fabian Alortegui.
Emma Elise Arman.
Wad Hussein Alaufi.
Jansen Bates.
Sophie Ann Becker.
Joshua Robert Bianco.
Micah Laquan Bisbee.
Hannah Lynn Black.
Luis Alejandro Brewer Calcina.
Caitlin Ann Brown.
Michaela Elizabeth Calhoun.
Alexandra May Cardoso.
Francis Aline Carlson.
Wade Carpenter.
Robert Lewis Cobden.
Samantha Chadwick.
Ryan Scott Collins.
Connor J. Coughlin.
Hunter Augustus Connolly.
Carson Reed Connery.
Rebecca Cromwell Sinevsky.
Kenneth Raymond Cox.
Megan E. Davis.
Yasaman Dadras.
Aaron Lee Doty.
Asia Mercedes Akiko Tagore Davis.
Kieran Orlando Thunder Garcia.
Shelby Leanne Dawkins.
Kim Durbin.
Brittany Dodson.
Litzy Gomez.
Emmy Eubanks.
Lily Karen Gustafson.
Brent Fisher.
Emily Hope Hill.
Anna Foman.
Carl Brian Hunt.
Stephen Frank.
Gina Lorraine Irwin.
Margaret Elizabeth Glover.
Kathy Juarez.
Talia Celeste Guajardo.
Washira Karaoke.
Zachary Boyd Heffernan.
Daniel Lurie.
Hannah Elizabeth Hurst.
Chloe Macon.
Michelle Lee Jones.
Aline Cortez Magana.
Jessica Nicole Kristen Klein.
Ankita Matur.
J. Frank Kinzel III.
Christina Elise McDonough.
Wait. Zong Lam.
Spencer McKay.
Grace Martin.
Chad Nesheim.
Yana Myakshula.
Christian Matthew Perry.
Alejandro Macias.
Lauren Ray.
Grant Michael Miller.
Maya Lynn Lawson Rivera.
Alicia Mati Matera.
Fatima Sahi.
Emma Sylvester Neal.
Sydney Elizabeth Schultz.
Rachel Marilyn Noriega.
Garrett Michael Schwalber.
McCoy Thomas Patton.
Samuel Edward Simmons.
Louis Parada.
Amish Brian Smith.
Jessica Schmick-Poe.
Jessica M. Snyder.
Charles Julius Recheck.
Jesus Gomez Sotelo.
Tyler Rada.
Brian Stanton.
Chris George Schlemp.
Shris T. Tumrucker.
Sievert. How? James Sievert.
Amanda Warwick.
Abigail K. Rode.
Matthew William Wigand.
Carly Mae Smith.
Opal Ann Keppel Wilcoxson.
David Lawrence Sorensen.
Emily Mae Wilson.
Josie Christine Spence.
Students graduating with an undergraduate degree in the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences will be greeted by Dean Brooke Blevins. Jillian Leslie Geyer, cum laude.
Zoe Stave.
Dalton Bernard Arnson.
Jacqueline Walker.
Samuel Aguilar.
Jonna Sexton Atkins.
Kiara Jessica Amerson.
Taylor Erin Watson.
Emily Rose Holbrook.
Cassidy Wiggin.
Rihanna S. Anderson.
Kenneth Dean Williams.
Sophia Caroline Diffin.
Brent Kenneth Wilson.
Go ahead.
Ashkan Khani Zadeh.
Sarah Marie Beglinger.
Students graduating with an undergraduate degree in the College of Art and Architecture will be greeted by Dean Shauna Corey. Quinn Michael Anderson. Andrew Langvard Anderson.
Madison Nicole Biddle.
Jeffrey Daniel Anderson.
McKenna Kylie Burcham.
Read that one again.
Grace Isabella Bailey.
Corbin Bradley Everett.
Kea J. Duarte.
Alyssa K. Avery.
Kaylee Marie Duplex.
Josie Eva Baggett.
Gracie Renee Geiger.
Colleen Renee Bandel, summa cum laude.
Dakota Ann Georges, summa cum laude.
Bernardo Batista.
Sarah Rose Greenwald.
Jacob John Billington.
Emma Ann Guston.
Emma Elise Binsfield.
Hannah Sage Hartway.
John Patrick Richard Bond.
Gianna Hayner.
Benjamin Bryce Brolier Borkowski, summa cum laude.
Alyssa Lene Johnson.
Jared Colton Burkett.
Maya Robbie Mae Hamilton.
Stephen Burkett.
Isaac Aaron Hall.
Trinity Charlesworth.
Jade Lynn Hansen.
Jordan Anna Kayaki.
Blake Tegan Hibbert.
Kira Craig.
Griffin Dwayne Hatcher.
Emma Jean Cressy.
Preston Hogue.
Andrew Jacob Davidson.
Ruth Elizabeth Youngward.
Reef Malama Ke Elanu Ka Mulevi Ka He Iloko Ka Moana Diego summa cum laude.
Riley Lynn Jorgensen.
Sierra Bell Dye.
Catherine Arden Judge.
Catherine A. Feeney.
Caitlin L. Kelly.
Chase Allen Flora cum laude.
Mervyn James Kenyon.
Mackenzie Ann Fluta.
Jenna Kilty.
Jade Marie Fredericks.
Rebecca Joanne Kirkland.
Megan Marie Getner, magna cum laude.
Helen Margaret Kitchen, summa cum laude.
Solema Letitia Gum.
Zachary Lee Kreutzer.
Jaden Amira Hanks.
Kristen Ann LeBeau.
Kelsey May Harrington, magna cum laude.
Gwendolyn Marlis Latta.
Paige Hedman.
Olivia Levitt, summa cum laude.
Gwyneth Kate Henry, magna cum laude.
Ilse Estefania Leva.
Jorge Hernandez.
Molly Rose Lodge.
Ethan Maloof Hitchcock.
Ariel Ann Lofton, cum laude.
Lydia Rose Howard.
Michaela Joy Clark.
Kelly Louise Heil.
Abigail Diane Lee Martin.
Ashley Dawn Irons.
Lakeland Ashley McComas.
Braden Montgomery Jones.
Kinsey Brooke Merrifield.
Cole Tyler Kelsey.
Cheyenne Rose Morrison, summa cum laude.
Grace Evelyn Coleman, summa cum laude.
Jenna Ann Randolph.
Liam Richard Laponsi.
Calvin Thomas McMillan.
Logan Shane Lloyd.
Jenna Mendoza.
Ryan Keith Lawrenson, magna cum laude.
Jordan Tyler Morgan, summa cum laude.
Aaron Michael Magalski, summa cum laude.
Jacob Kim Wynn.
Kevin Timothy Moret.
Rowan Michael Pandy.
Giovanna Jolie Mahazzarella, magna cum laude.
Lindy Rose Ferris.
Janet Mendoza.
It's Eric Propstra.
Sandra Gonzalez Meza, cum laude.
Sophia Elizabeth Rabe.
Emily Christine Molstad, summa cum laude.
Bella McKay Roberts.
Kayla Suzanne Nadia.
Claire Christine Romero.
Hua Win. Thank you.
Hunter Cade Rouse.
Connor Timothy Reeks.
Isaac Sanchez.
Aiden Lane Rower.
Opath Echo Silapath.
Simon James Scott, magna cum laude.
Sydney Marie Singh.
Andrew Christopher Shearman, summa cum laude.
Kennedy Michelle LaFontaine, summa cum laude.
Jason Christopher Simonson.
Lucy Ann Strebe.
Emily Jean Sergai, magna cum laude.
Rochelle Olivia Starreveld.
Erica Skoglund.
Tanner Brooks.
Aspen Marie Smith.
Jack Carl Schuster.
Samuel Thomas Smith.
Caitlin June Summerfield.
Madeline Lee Stoneman.
Brian Valdivia.
Ashley Francis Streif. Thank you.
Catherine Josette Venera, summa cum laude.
Emily Catherine Stewart, summa cum laude.
Grace Vitek.
Garrett Lee Stuckey.
Andrew Vasquez.
Ashley Beth Summers.
Astrid Villa.
Swartz. Taylor Victoria Swartz.
JC Catherine Vladik.
Templis. Elena Templis.
Mackenzie Jane Vogt.
Alex Charles Tilley.
Chloe Camille White, cum laude.
Sydney Rose Taverdi.
Tess Elizabeth Williams.
Victoria Elise Urquia.
Nivina Ivan Tulilov, cum laude.
Alexis J.M. Verhage.
Paige Lynn Wilson.
Jonas James Wenzel.
Kaylin Edwina Johnson.
Okay. Sean Ozzie Wexler.
Tia Marie Weiss.
Wiedenfeld. Jackson Robert Wiedenfeld.
Lily Grace Wind, summa cum laude.
Haley Oak Williams.
Cassidy Isabella Wolsey.
Josie Leanne Williams.
Grace Kennedy Walton.
Students graduating with an undergraduate degree in the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences will be greeted by Dean Sean Quinlan. Tia Renee Mays.
Kira Elizabeth Herndon.
Janine Desiree Scholander.
Elizabeth Grace Cox.
Tyler Wayne Martin.
Haley Ann Wilson.
Wait.
Megan Joy White.
Yerika Yasmin Marquez Ruiz.
Andrew David Poppert.
Jeff Mason.
Conrad Kopsa Becker.
Mary Elizabeth Matier.
Nicholas William McIver.
Sean David McDermott.
Connor Nicholas Wood.
Luke Emil Bora McGreevy, summa cum laude.
Emma Rebecca Wiedmer.
Jocelyn Elizabeth McGregor.
Skylar Micaiah Hill.
Ryan Chris McIntosh.
Joey Lee Klauser.
Felicia McPherson.
Claire Ann Dines.
Macara Lynn Rose McKenzie.
Sailor Ashlyn O'Kelly, summa cum laude.
Carson McKenzie.
Ethan Andrich.
John Harvey McKenzie.
Harrison Marker Smith.
Jared Meredith.
Students graduating with an undergraduate degree in the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences will be greeted by Provost Tori Lawrence. Milana Lene DeRozier, summa cum laude.
Elizabeth Mea. Andrew Mendoza.
Grace Marie Abraham.
Kendall Avery Mitten, summa cum laude.
Abigail Akaregi.
Nathan J. Moody, summa cum laude.
Emily Ann Adams.
Sage Annalise Moore.
Daniela Aguilar Carranza, cum laude.
Andrew John Ney.
Olivia Kailani Adams.
Tracy James Mullinax.
Jacqueline Lynn Brown.
Zachary Murphy.
Zara Lachey Alcazar.
Dosa Nabo.
Alejandra Alviso.
Hannah Kathleen Nelson.
Giselle Alvarado.
Alelia Kathleen Norton.
Brianna Catherine Anderson.
Ellen Jane Brady Norton.
Olivia Josephine Anderson.
Owen Michael O'Day.
Maya Anderson.
Omis, thank you. Kai Omis.
Austin Jean Christopher Anderson.
Kyla Joy Ohaleto.
Gracie Andrews.
Jacqueline Ortiz.
Matthias Baruch Raul Aranda.
Samuel Pauls.
Grayson Atkinson.
Peterson or Patterson? Thank you. Bindi Sue Patterson.
Nate Azopardi.
Thank you. Alana Kathleen Peterson, summa cum laude.
Amara Bailey, summa cum laude.
Haley Ann Pittman.
Georgia Bailey.
James Templeton.
Clarissa Lene Baker.
Great. Michael Wilmonen.
Jackson Baldwin.
Wendy Prado.
Viviana Lizeth Barajas.
Wagisha Prakash.
Kyron Beecham.
Cassidy Marie Putnam.
Brady Lynn Beam.
Gage Connor Purdom.
Jaden Brienne Bennett.
Kendall S. Quintano.
Mia Elizabeth Barrett.
Radel? Great. Maxwell Liam Radel.
David Luis Berriachoa.
Julie Reagan.
Shayla Rose Biladu.
Elizabeth Emily Ramirez.
Tristan Anderson.
Carly J. Razkorshak.
Matthew T. Angelo.
Paris Reinhardt.
Trey Anthony Alvarez.
Derek Tyson Renzelman.
Joseph Estes.
Rebecca Ann Reyes, summa cum laude.
Akila Marie Austin.
Razamand, got it. Amin Razamand.
Willis Clay Blankenship.
Amir H. Razamand.
Brooklyn Christine Brown.
Taylor Robbins.
Tim Burgett.
Cody Dylan Roberts, summa cum laude.
Mason Perrine Burke.
Herman Roberts.
Mackenzie Lynn Burks.
Thank you. Jacqueline Rubalcaba.
Macy Elizabeth Campbell, summa cum laude.
Ambria Sam.
Charlene Ashley Carpenter.
Ashley Nicole Schneider.
William Derek Carson.
Daisy Danae Schoonover.
Kimberly M. Casper.
Haley Catherine Schroeder.
Nicholas James Siebel, summa cum laude.
Rachel Ann Scriven.
Evelyn Cervantes.
Yeah. Samantha Olivia Schaefer.
Emily Lynn Chitwood.
Sarah Grace Schaefer.
Elisa Afton Clark.
Isabella Claire Sindelar.
Tyler Rebecca Lee Clark.
John Stewart Sillers.
Dakota James Coddington.
Kai Settlemeyer Nardi.
Celeste Lynn Condi, summa cum laude.
Carl Mitchell Shoup, cum laude.
Jennifer Ann Conger.
Jade Madison Sprague, summa cum laude.
Abril Ayani Correa.
Sophie Ann Spanbauer.
Juliana Cowley.
Abigail Faith Baird Spencer.
James Edward Monroe Craig Jr., summa
Emma
cum
Nicole
laude.
Stahl.
Sally Elizabeth Cross.
Jessica Renee Stevens.
Dakota Taylor Crossley.
Jack C. Stevens, summa cum laude.
Spencer Edward Cuppage.
Emma Grace Sishu Stahl.
Emily G. DeVries.
Braden Smart.
Sydney Rochelle Dobbs.
Savannah Rose Stoneman.
Emmy Lee Dibble.
Cheyenne Stooks.
Alejandra Marie Dick.
Jason Scott Stooks.
Lance Dick Jr.
Sadie Breyer Stoltz.
William Doring.
Nathalie Swaste, cum laude.
Saffron Douse, cum laude.
Kennedy Renee Fitzgerald.
Lotus Leona Duff.
Madison Marie Tim, summa cum laude.
Felicia Jasmine Elliston.
Alyssa Marie Peck, summa cum laude.
Grace Iolani Ertel.
Brianna Rose Jack.
Jamie Jordan Evans.
Jalen Kevin Terry.
Marley S. Bag.
Addison Thompson.
Molly Bridget Feely.
Susana Torres.
William Fisher.
Anayi Trejo. Anayi Trejo.
Wesley Gadbaugh.
Luke Turner.
Tanner James McLean, cum laude.
Tracy S. Tusing.
Andrew Eugene Giacomazzi.
Caitlin Uemoto.
Sophia Gomez, Deolera Rose.
Luis Vargas.
Bailey Ann Givens.
Villalobos. Rolando Villalobos.
Sophia Grace Vietri.
Taylor J. Wardle.
Alexandra Gomez.
Tyler Warwood.
Hector Guerrero.
Claire Wallace.
Jaden Marie Anderson, cum laude.
Emily Hope Waltner.
Caden Bryson Kerr.
Oh, yeah. Andrea Waraxa Raymond.
Samantha Shea Brunker.
Matthew Robert Wagner.
Kendall Grace Snelling.
Mark Jonathan Warren.
Josette Laturin.
Peyton Luke Weaver.
Carly Ann Knudsen.
Ashley Wegner.
Riley Alexandra Holly.
September Renee Wickham.
Bailey Diane Fulmer.
Angel Marie Williams.
Taylor Madison Zerno.
Holly Lynn Williams.
Jake Geddes.
Thank you. Rikenna Delaney Williams.
Alexis Michelle Gist.
Lori Ree Bright Williams.
Luke Ellsworth Goodwin.
Woosley, thank you. Gabriella Woosley.
Jamie Ann Green.
Lauren Elizabeth Young.
Caitlin Rose Green.
William Benjamin Zacher.
Samuel Gregg.
Tylen Riley Coleman.
Emma Catherine Grivey.
Cassie Jo Elizabeth Wallen.
Macy Grosvenor.
Ragnar. Vincent Ragnar Lyon.
Kepa Gerakabetia. I keep rolling my R's.
Sarah Jean Johnson.
Mackenzie Renee Halbert.
Riley Catherine Jones.
Lane Clay Hall.
Trenton Sadiq Keith Jones.
Cameron Hatchett.
Nolan Winslow Kelly.
Nicholas Blaze Hansen.
Benjamin Scott Kendall.
Emma Marie Harrington.
Summer Lynn Kendall.
Joanna Ruth Hayes, summa cum laude.
Francine Victoria Koschel, cum laude.
Lucas Allen Henning.
Matthew David Cooleen.
Yulitzi Hernandez.
Caleb Milton Lefay.
Morgan Elise Hettich.
Isalia Laura.
James Wiley Haywood.
Isabella Graziana Lea.
Bradley David Hopper.
Elizabeth Lynn Lenvoy.
Jocelyn Quinn Howell, summa cum laude.
Mary Catherine Lenvoy, summa cum laude.
Selena Ann Huminski.
Okay. Isaac Lucius Lorkey.
Hannah Marie Ireton.
Maddie Elizabeth Lustig.
Taylor Alexis James.
Samson H. Lyman.
Shaylin Elizabeth Mills.
Joshua Cole Ellis.
Sabra Lene Woods.
Yeah. Set these on the floor. Let's go, partner. Get your water.
Claire Jaramillo. Henry Milo Jensen. Priscilla Jean Jensen. Jacob Thomas Johnson.
Who's up?
May I have all the graduates please stand? You are now graduates, so it's time to move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. You may be seated. So I would like to invite Travis Jones, immediate past president of the U of I Alumni Association, class of 1999 and 2002, to address our graduates. Travis?
Good morning, Vandals. Founded in 1898, the University of Idaho Alumni Association is nearly as old as the institution. May I have all University of Idaho alumni in the audience and on the platform please stand. Graduates, you are joining an elite and loyal group of individuals now numbering over 115,000 strong. They are living and working and making a difference in Idaho, nationally, and around the world. And now you too are a part of the University of Idaho alumni family. Welcome. Please be seated. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our newest University of Idaho Alumni Hall of Fame inductees who are part of our platform party today, Lawrence Wasden and Thomas Slayton. Congratulations and go Vandals!
Thank you, Travis. As we near the end of our commencement ceremony, I'd like to take a few moments to show our appreciation to some of the many individuals who made today possible. First, the University Wind Ensemble, led by Assistant Professor and Director of Bands, Mark Thiel. A special thanks go to our commencement readers, Sarah Nelson, David Lee Painter, Lisa Salisbury, and Leontina Hormel. The presentation of colors was made by a joint color guard comprised of cadets from the University of Idaho's ROTC units. Also, a thank you to our floor and college marshals and for their leadership of Rula Awad Rafferty, lead marshal for our ceremony today. Thank you to Casey Scheffler, our announcer and voice from above, and many others who worked for several months to make this event so special. My gratitude to the committees, faculty, and staff who had a part in planning this ceremony. Let's give them all a round of applause. Finally, I wish to acknowledge our faculty. Will our faculty please stand? You provide the knowledge and mentorship to each of our students. You teach them, you advise them, you support our students and give them the tools they need to be successful in the workforce. You are central to our land-grant mission of teaching, discovery, and service. We commend you for your dedication to our students and to the University of Idaho. Thank you. You may be seated. Graduates, after the ceremony, please visit via Vandal Alley behind me and join your family and friends outside for photos. Please wait until the stage party has exited the seating area before you begin to recess. Finally, please join us in a special University of Idaho tradition, the singing of the alma mater. The words are located on page 67 of your program. 67. Please stand.
And here we have Idaho,
This concludes the 129th commencement of the University of Idaho. Parents and families, please meet your graduates outside the dome for pictures. Thank you for attending, and go Vandals!